Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, November 6, 2025. College basketball, NBA, NHL, college football, Thursday night football, soccer, golf. My NFL Thursday bet on this day, news and notes, and my best bet for the day. All right, we'll start in college basketball. We'll go over the results of note and look ahead to tonight's games of note. And it wasn't a busy window last night. It's not busy today either. Rutgers over Rider 81-53. LaSalle over Coppin State 87-59. Temple over Delaware State 83-65. Georgia over Maryland Eastern 94-29. That's impressive, especially over D1. Butler over Southern Indiana 88-58. Number 23 Creighton over South Dakota 92-76. Indiana over Alabama A&M 98-51. LSU over Tarleton State 96-60. Marquette over Southern 100-82. New Mexico over East Texas A&M 76-54. Fresno over SC Upstate. Oh no, my bad. SC Upstate over Fresno State 67-66. So another Mountain West school loses a bye game. UC Davis over North Dakota State 80-68. Mississippi State over North Alabama 86-62. And Loyola Marymount over Eastern Washington 70-62. All right, a little bit of bigger of a window tonight. We have 25 compared to the 14 yesterday. So at 6:30 we have LIU and IU Indy. My line is IU Indy by 26. And it's 4.5 total, 184.5. That is way too low. I'll give you IUPUI minus the 4.5. 7 o'clock, Jackson State, number 11, Louisville. I have Louisville by a whopping 41, and it's 37.5 totals, 164.5 LA with Louisville. Next up, Campbell, West Virginia. My line's West Virginia by 30, and it's 15.5 total, 138.5. I'll lay the 15.5 with West Virginia. The Citadel, BC. My line's BC 19.5, and it is 16.5 total, 144.5. I'll lay the points. Illinois State, Ohio. My line's Ohio 2.5. And it's 1.5 total, 161.5. I think that's a high total. Give me the under. Central Connecticut, Quinnipiac. My line is Quinnipiac by 16. And it is let's see. Quinnipiac 8.5 total, 150.5. I'll lay with Quinnipiac. Lemoyne Xavier. My line's Xavier by 40, and it's 24.5 total, 156.5. I'll lay it with Xavier. Bethune in Miami. My line's Miami by 27. And it's 16.5 totals, 155.5. I'll lay it with Miami. Robert Morris Drake at 7:30. My line is Drake by 18. And it is 7.5 total, 150.5. I'll lay with Drake. North Florida at number 3, Florida at 8 o'clock. My line's Florida by a whopping 55.5. And it's 41.5 totals, 168.5. I'll lay it with the Gators bounce back spot. Grambling at number 16, Iowa State. I have Iowa State by a whopping 40.5. And where's the game? Oh, there it is. 33.5 totals, 143.5. I'll lay with Iowa State. Merrimack at number 20, Auburn. I have Auburn by 33. And it is 23.5 totals, 146.5. I'll lay with Auburn. Alcorn State, South Alabama. I have South Alabama by 27. And it's 18 after 141 FLA with South Alabama. Northwestern State, North Texas. My line is North Texas by 15. And it's 11.5. Totals 137.5. I'll lay it with North Texas. Texas Southern, Texas A&M. I have A&M by 31.5. And it's 29.5. Total 162.5. I'll lay it with Texas A&M. UC Riverside, North Dakota. Minus North Dakota by 7. And it's 2.5. Total 148.5. I'll lay it with North Dakota. Omaha, Abilene Christian. I have Abilene Christian by 6. It's 4.5. Total 151.5. I'll take the over. Cal State, Northridge, Northern Iowa. Mine's Northern Iowa by 3.5. And it's 9.5. Total 152.5. First underdog I'm taking against the spread. I'm taking Cal Northridge to cover. That's too high. A&M, Corpus Christi, and SMU. My line's SMU 35.5. And it is 23.5. Total 160.5. I'll lay the points with SMU. Chicago State, St. Louis. Mine's St. Louis by a whopping 37.5. And it's 29.5. Total 154.5. I'll lay the points. St. Francis, TCU on TNT and True TV. Mine's TCU by 32. And it's 27.5. Total 152.5. I'll lay it with TCU. Mercyhurst, Loyola, Chicago at 9 o'clock. Mine's Loyola by 12.5. And it is 21.5. Total 145.5. I'm going to take Mercyhurst plus the points. Loyola, Chicago barely beat their last opponent. 10 o'clock, Big Ten Network. Denver, Washington. Mine's Washington by 11. It's 27.5. Total is 153.5. I'll take Denver to cover. Wright State, Cal. My line's Cal 25, and it is 14.5. Totals 151.5. I'll lay it with Cal. And last but not least, Arkansas State, Portland at 10:30. My line is Portland 27. It's 12.5. Total 164.5. I'll lay it with Portland. Okay, now move on to the NBA. Busy window last night. We'll recap the games, and then we have one game tonight. Just one. Cavs over the Sixers, 132-121. Pistons over the Jazz, 114-103. Nets over the Pacers, 112-103. So Brooklyn gets their first win of the year. Celtics over the Wizards, 136-107. Knicks over the Timberwolves, 137-114. And Ant Edwards' first game back. Rockets over the Grizzlies, 124-109. Pelicans over the Mavs, 101-99 as they get their first win. Oh, they already got their first win, but that's their second win. The Nuggets over the Heat, 122-112. The Lakers over the Spurs, 118-116. Blazers over the Thunder, 121-119. And the Kings beat the Warriors, 121-116 without Steph or Jimmy. 9 o'clock, NBA TV tonight. Clippers, Suns. I have the Suns as a favorite without Harden or Kawhi. I have Suns 8.25 total 232, and it is Phoenix by 3 total 224. Now if I lay the 3 with the Suns. Okay, NHL. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight. Leafs over the Mammoth 5-3. Caps over the Blues 6-1. Flames over the Jackets 5-1. Blackhawks over the Canucks 5-2. Sharks over the Kraken 6-1. Decent slate tonight, 7 o'clock. You have Sens Bruins from Boston. Sens minus 146. Bruins plus 122. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 106. Unders minus 130. Sens minus 1.5 plus 164. Bruins plus 1.5 is minus 205. I think there's value on the Bruins at over plus 120. And I'm going to go with it. I was hoping to take the Sens as a dog, but I'm going to take the Bruins as a dog instead. Blues Sabres. Sabres minus 137. The Blues are plus 114. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Blues plus 1.5 is minus 215. Sabres minus 1.5 plus 172. I'm gonna go with the over. Habs Devils. Devils minus 142. Habs plus 118. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 134. Unders plus 110. Habs plus 1.5 is minus 215. Devils minus 1.5 plus 172. I'm going to go with the Devils in regulation at plus 110. I just think they're better than Montreal. Significantly. Wild Hurricanes. Canes minus 192. Wild plus 158. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Wild plus 1.5 is minus 150. Canes minus 1.5 plus 124. I'm going to go with the over at plus money. 7:30 ESPN Plus and Hulu. Caps Pens. Caps minus 114, Pens minus 105, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Caps minus 1.5 plus 210, Pens plus 1.5 minus 265. This was last season. The Caps would have been like minus 140 in this spot. I think the league is finally, or the betting market's giving a market correction on the Pens. I'm going to take them here at minus 105 though. 8 o'clock, Flyers, Predators. Preds minus 125, Flyers plus 104, over under 5.5, minus 110 each way. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 245, Preds minus 1.5 plus 194, under. Ducks, Stars. Good game, by the way. The Ducks are off to a great start. The Stars minus 182, Ducks plus 150, over under 6.5, overs even money, unders minus 122. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 164. Dallas minus 1.5 plus 134. I'm going to lay the puck line with the Stars. I think this is a good opportunity for Dallas. 10 o'clock, Lightning, Golden Knights. That was my Stanley Cup Finals pick. Vegas minus 118, Lightning minus 202, over under 5.5, overs minus 134, unders plus 110. Bolts plus 1.5 is minus 260, Vegas minus 1.5 plus 205. I'm going Vegas minus 118. I think they're short at that number. And then 10 o'clock also on ESPN Plus and Hulu. Panthers, Kings. Kings minus 115. Panthers minus 104, over under 5.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Panthers plus 1.5 is minus 265. Kings minus 1.5 plus 210. I think the Panthers are having the year from hell. I'm going to lay to minus 115 with the Kings. Okay, now we'll move on to college football. 2 games last night, 2 games tonight. And last night's 2 games were Maction, and tonight's game, 1 Sun Belt, 1 American. Ball State over Kent State 17-13, and Toledo over Northern Illinois 42-3. All right, 7:30 on ESPN2, Georgia Southern, App State. My line is App State 1.5, total 59 2/5. And it is 5.5 and 61.5. I'm going to take Georgia Southern getting the 5.5. That's a lot of points. And on ESPN, UTSA, South Florida. I have South Florida by 7, total 64 and 11/20. And it's a whopping 13.5, total 67.5. I'm taking UTSA plus the 13 hook. That is a lot of points. All right, Thursday night football tonight. 8:30 on Amazon. Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels on the call. My line is the Broncos as a 12.5 point home favorite over the Raiders. Total 43 and 1/10. And it is 8.5 and 42.5. I can't believe it went down. I love Denver minus the 8.5. They're going to win this by double digits. I know they haven't really won by margin this year, but I think they'll do it here against a bad Raiders team. So I'm going to lay 8.5 with the Broncos. Okay, now we'll go to soccer. We'll recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to today. And obviously, we had Europa and Conference League today. So yesterday, Champions League, FK Karabakh Chelsea 2-2 draw. Pafos over Villarreal 1-0. Galatasaray over Ajax 3-0. Bayer Leverkusen over Benfica 1-0. Club Brugge Barcelona 3-3 draw. Inter over Kairat 2-1. Man City over Brescia 4-1. Atalanta over Marseille 1-0. Newcastle over Athletic Club 2-0. ELC Preston North End over Swansea City 2-1. Southampton over Queen's Park 2-1. Sheffield Wednesday Norwich City 1-1 draw. Portsmouth Wrexham 0-0 draw. All right. So today, Europa League. We don't have time to make picks for these games, but I'll just talk about them in general. Going on now, Celta Vigo, Dynamo Zagreb, FC Basel, FC SB, FC Midtjylland, Celtic. This is Europa, by the way. FC Utrecht, FC Porto, Malmo FF, and Panathinaikos. Nice FC Freiburg, RB Salzburg, Go Ahead Eagles. Red Star Lille, SK Strumgras, and Nottingham. And then 3 o'clock, Aston Villa, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Bologna SK Brand, Braga Racing Genk, Ferencváros and Ludogorets, PAOK Slayanka and Young Boys, CBS Sports Network Rangers and AS Roma, Real Betis Lyon, FEB Stuttgart, Feyenoord, and Victoria Plzen and Fenerbahce. Conference League going on right now, AEK Athens and Shamrock Rovers, AEK Laranka and Aberdeen, FC Noam Sigma, KUPS Kwapo and Slovan Bratislava, Mainz Fiorentina, NK Celje Legia Warsaw, Samsunpor and Hamrin, Shakhtar and Bredabilik, Sparta Prague and Rakow. All right, 3 o'clock on BK Hacken and Strasbourg, Crystal Palace, AZ Alkmaar, Dynamo Kyiv and Zerzinski, Kiev Skandija and Jagiellania, Lazone and Almania, Lincoln and Rijeka, Rapid Vienna and CSU, Real Ventilano and Lech, and Shelburne and Dieter Grzan. In the Pro League finals, Al Khalij over Al Hazim 4-1 and Al Kidiash over Al Khaloud 4-0. Going on now is Al Raida and Damak. And then tomorrow we're going to be recording the show in the afternoon at some point. And in the morning tomorrow, we have in the Pro League 8:20 Al Faya Al Akdo, 9:30 Al Fateh Al Tawoun, and 12:30 Al Najma and Al Halal. All right, so there you have it for soccer. Now we'll move on to golf. I will go over the current leaderboard for the WT Championship. In first place with 11 under, Nick Dunlap. Second with 9 under, Sandemi Valimaki. Tied for third, 8 under, Kevin Tura, Vincent William, Matthias Schmid. Chad Ramey, Adam Putnam. Tied for 8th with 7 under, Ben Griffin and Francesco Molinari. Tied for 10th with 6 under, Matt Kuchar and Taylor Dixon. Tied for 12th with 5 under, Carson Young, Bayo Hostler, JJ Spawn, Taylor Moore, Taylor Hogue. Patrick Rogers, William Mao. Tied for 19th with 4 under, Will Gordon, Lucas Donald, Matt Wallace, Adam Hadwin, Kevin Stroman, Nick Goodwin, Takumi Kanaya, and Mason Anderson. Tied for 27th with 3 under, Doug Im, David Skins, Nicholas Echeverria, Davis Riley, Trevor Cohn, Vince Cavello, Thomas Rosenmuller, Henrik Dorander, Michael Thjorsen, and Omar Morales. Tied for 37th and 2 under, we're going to do notables now. Ryan Palmer, Patton Gazier, Lucas Hodges, Nate Hardy, Thibjorn Allison, Joel Dahman, Eric Cole, Grayson Sieg. Tied for 45th with 1 under, Paul Fishburne, Trey Molinax, Lucas Griffin, Stefan Yeager, Jacob Bridgman, Taylor Montgomery, Ben Coles, Hayden Buckley, Paul Peterson, Max McGreevy, Max Grieserman, Mackenzie Hughes, Seamus Power, Raja Campos, Stuart Fisk, Brant Snecker, or Steven Fisk. He keeps throwing that name up. Emiliano Grillo, Rio Hisatune, tied for 68th with Ed Even, Harry Springer, Davis Lipsky, Kevin Roy, Chandler Phillips, Matthew Pavon, Keith Mitchell, Luke Liz, Kevin Yu, Austin Eckroyd, Evan Van Royen. Tied for 88th with 1 over, Wyndham Clark, Harry Higgs. 92nd with 2 over, Nate Taylor, Adam Schenk, Emilio Vegas. And in 99th with 5 over, Mark Hubbard, and then the rest have yet to tee off. Okay, now we will do NFL Thursday bet. Yesterday for the Wednesday bet, I gave out the Chicago Bears minus the points against the Giants. I just felt that it was a good spot for them. So, the next pick I'm going to give out is another risky kind of bet. It's a division game. And this is a team I've been riding all season. I am going to lay 5.5 with the Panthers against the Saints. Maybe it'll be in Fab 5, maybe it won't. But I'm going to lay 5.5 with Carolina against the Saints. Okay, now I'm going to do on this day. Ooh, we're at a good pace so far. I like it. On this day, November 6th, in sports history, and that is brought to you by All Sports News. 2018, the Blackhawks fired Joel Quenneville. Obviously, there's that scandal going on, and there's a lot of drama. And he was the best coach in their franchise's history, but it's just unfortunate. 2023, the Cubs hire Craig Counsell. And they fire David Ross on the same day. And we all remember how that played out, and Twitter was going nuts. 2020, the Red Sox rehire Alex Cora after I think the league had something to do with that, and then they forced it on the Red Sox. But they should have never fired him in the first place. The Red Sox, I think, were forced to fire him because of their stupid media and Rob Manfred. And they realized they fucked up, and now he's back. 2023, also, Daniel Jones tearing his ACL. Obviously, that injury really was not good for him. He was playing poorly that season to begin with, and then it just was worse. 2023, the Guardians hire Stephen Vogt. Turned out to be a great hire. 2023, Mets hire Carlos Mendoza. So we had 3 managerial hirings on the state 2 years ago. Mendoza, probably a hot seat guy next year. 2021, Purdue upsets number 3 Michigan State. Was that when that boy, that super fan, and then the kid ended up passing away, unfortunately. I'm trying to yeah, I'm trying to find yeah, I'm trying to find that fan. Tyler Trent. Oh, that was... So Tyler Trent died in 2019. This was well after Tyler Trent. But they did pull off an upset in 18. That's probably what I was thinking of. 2016, the Rockies hired Bud Black, and they finally fired him this year. 2018, the Giants hired Farhan Zaidi as president. I don't think he's with the Giants anymore. He's a special advisor for the Dodgers. Yes, he's not with the Giants anymore. 2022, the Mets re-signed Edwin Diaz. They're gonna have to re-sign Edwin Diaz this year too. And 2015, number 4 Alabama defeats number 2 LSU. So some very interesting memories, especially 2 years ago on this day. Okay, now we'll move on to the news and notes for today. Jordan Binghamton of the Blues addresses taking the puck, and he was planning on giving it back to Ovechkin the whole time, allegedly, as he scored his 900th goal. A Capitals player pranked Matt Barzal of the Islanders, which was funny. Don Mattingly is leaving the Blue Jays as he's open to the right job after exit, and the Phillies are eyeing him to be their bench coach. So BYU fans are helping Texas Tech's barber, as they've helped raise over $120,000 for Texas Tech's team barber's wife, who was injured in a car crash. Wow. Prayers to her. That's sad, but good for BYU fans. So Michigan scraps the Germany game. They'll open against Western Michigan in Ann Arbor next year for football. LSU's athletic director's future is uncertain, as President Wade Rosay will assess the situation after removing the intern tag from Verg Alsbury. The Padres hire a new manager as former pitcher Craig Stammen, as he had a stint in the Padres front office. Jose Alvarado returning to the Phillies. And so is Bruce Bochy, as he's becoming a special assistant. Kenta Maeda is returning to Japan after 10 years in Major League Baseball. Jackson Dart says it's a blessing having Jameis Winston in the quarterback room. Cam Thomas injured his hamstring as he's out for the rest of the game against the Pacers. Or was out. LeBron James cleared for contact as he will be reevaluated in 1 to 2 weeks after resuming basketball activity. That is good news for the Lakers. But he will be missing the road trip, obviously. A lot of Ja Morant trade buzz. The Mavs bench Klay Thompson. Pochettino wants EPL return, as the U.S. men's national team manager is hoping to be back in England after a current gig. He goes, I am missing it. Game 7 of the World Series averaged $51 million 51 million viewers. Most watched baseball game in 34 years. That's crazy. I think that's because of Canada and Japan for Ohtani. But the saddest news of the day, Marshawn Kneeland of the Dallas Cowboys passes away at the age of 24 this morning. Unfortunately, he died in an apparent suicide. That's really, really sad. Only 24 years old. Thoughts and prayers go to his family, his friends, and the Dallas Cowboys organization. It was a self-inflicted gunshot. And then the team put out the statement and did not mention the cause. It is with extreme sadness that the Dallas Cowboys shared that Marshawn Kneeland tragically passed away this morning. Marshawn was a beloved teammate and member of our organization. Our thoughts and prayers regarding Marshawn are with his girlfriend, Catalina, and his family. The Cowboys have made counseling resources available to all players, coaches, and staff. Players are on their bye and are not scheduled to practice again until Monday. So this has been a very tumultuous week for the Cowboys, and it just got sad. And then, according to Frisco Police, the department responded to assist the Texas Department of Public Safety with locating a vehicle that evaded troopers during a pursuit that entered the city at 10:39 Central Time on Wednesday. And the troopers found Kneeland's car crashed on the southbound Dallas Parkway near Warren Parkway. And according to the report, Kneeland fled the scene on foot, and officers searched the area with help from canine and drone units. And then 3 hours later, Kneeland was found with what happened to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. During the course of the search, officers received information that Kneeland expressed suicidal ideas, according to the report. And then Kneeland's agent, Jonathan Presley, about his death, a pain I can hardly put into words. But this is really sad. And then he supposedly texted people, saying goodbye. And Western Michigan came out with a statement. He obviously played there. That, like I said, very sad news in the NFL today. Brian Thomas Jr.'s future is still unclear with the Jaguars. The Titans won't trade with the Patriots as Tennessee's owner not a fan of how things ended with Mike Vrabel. Just get over it. Like, come on. That's loser talk, and that is so immature. There is a fire at Eric Spoelstra's home as no injuries have been reported from incident in Miami. Wow. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. The Rams sign thicker kicker. Harrison Mevis elevated the practice squad. The Dolphins shut down offers for Zach Sealer. They were looking for a high day 2 pick for him. The Jets bench Quincy Williams. They're probably tanking. Rashid Shaheed says, I'm here to stay, as Shaheed plans to make Seattle a long-term home by signing extension. Sauce Gardner's had to make Colts debut as he clears concussion protocol. Puka Nacua set to play on Sunday. against the Rams. Or for the Rams, I should say. As they'll be playing the Niners. So that's it for news and notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a couple games I liked on the board. I like both underdogs in college football. But I'm actually going college basketball with my best bet. I'm 0 for this week on best bet. I lost yesterday with the Thunder. I lost with Hawaii. The Hawaii-Oregon game on Tuesday. And then Florida on Monday. So I'm going to go with IUPUI plus 4.5 against LIU for my best bet of the day. So that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Look at everything tomorrow as well. Have a great day, everyone.